The final Grand Prix of the 2016 FIM Supermoto World Championship S1GP comes to Castelletto di Branduzzo for the S1GP of Lombardia. 4 riders still have a mathematical chance of taking the title, but it would have to take something catastrophic to deny Thomas Chareyre from taking his 5th title or Marc-Reiner Schmidt from taking his 1st. The top 2 are separated by 20 points coming into this final round, while the battle for 3rd is still up for grabs as well, with Lukas Hollbacher holding a slender 4-point advantage over Pavel Kejmar. It's about 90 metres to the first turn here, and then hard on the brakes into a double apex-like turn, tightening up into a 180 left. On the gas, kiss the curb on the way out, and then braking hard for turn 3, a 180 right. Heading out of there, pulling over to the right, setting yourself up for the next turn. Don't run too wide because somebody will be sneaking up the inside. Then again, we kiss the curb through this double apex here, tightens up nicely. One of the longest circuits on the calendar, this Castelletto di Branduzzo circuit. Nice and wide and flowing, long straights, and the off-road section, inverted commas, this time is all asphalt. They enter here through the left, very narrow, very tight. A single through the right, over a small double, continuing right, over that little mogul, over a plateau jump. One more little mogul, camelback into this right, and then it tightens right up before going left through this bowl turn, little mogul on the inside, back onto a plateau, then this straight continues left. Hard on the brakes, exit there, over a single, through a little bomb hole, change of surface there as well, short and sharp, upsets the balance of the bike before entering the main part of the racetrack. This is the furthest turn away from the start. Long straight, used to be about 360 metres long, but they slowed it down in recent years with this chicane. Left, right, halfway along, and then back down on the gas into this sweeping left turn, out to the curb, and then tightening back up here. Just a couple corners from home now. Getting back on the gas through this first of a double apex right. The second part is just here. That's the final turn, back down the start straight to start another lap. With 25 points still on the table, 18 separate Petr Vorlicek and Milan Sitniatsky at the top of the S2 standings. Giovanni Busai starts from pole with Diego Monticelli and Petr Vorlicek rounding out the front row. Vorlicek's closest rival, Milan Sitniatsky, heads up row 2 with Michael Bertomatti and Roman Kivers alongside him. Lights out though for the start of race 2, and into the first turn it's Vorlicek, the championship leader, 202 with the whole shot. Busai right there in second. Raul Schupp, a wildcard rider here this weekend in 3rd. Sitniatsky around 5th place. Making their way through, and already the riders starting to fan out, but it's Vorlicek who leads the way. Cow-tiders there, Busai. Monticelli getting the better of Schupp to get himself into 3rd, the first of those blue machines. 4th is Schupp, 5th is Sitniatsky. And Vorlicek taking a look behind to see exactly where his closest rival is. End of lap 1 then. Vorlicek still leading the way, but Busai looking very interested indeed. Of course, Vorlicek just knows he has to finish close to Sitniatsky, doesn't even have to beat him. Busai going through on the lead though. Surely has to be nervous times for Vorlicek. Has won the European Championship before, of course. So he knows what it's like to be in this position coming into the final race of the season. Monticelli, your winner from race 1 though, closing in 3rd on that number 68 TM. Down the back straight, Vorlicek, and look at Vorlicek waving Monticelli by. Won't get through the chicane, but maybe we'll get a look at it here. Yeah, Monticelli too easy in the end. Vorlicek not wanting to get involved. Wants to just protect that championship lead. He knows Sitniatsky is behind him. Michael Vertimati and Marco Palaccio falling out of 11th and 12th. Battle for the lead though, Busai and Monticelli. Vorlicek just starting to get left behind now. We've got waved yellows there as well, so not sure what that's about. And, Monticelli neatly down the inside, runs wide. Busai takes him back again, and Vorlicek not wanting to get involved with Sitniatsky. Lets his fellow Czech rider through, and Roman Kivers as well. A little bit further down the order though. Battle for 11th. Sorry, Oriol Peris. Big crash there for Alessandro Asnikar. He was in 13th position. Just caught the rear wheel of Peris. Take two. Monticelli going wide, wants to get on the fat part of the tyre nice and early. This is what he did last time. Will he be successful this time? Well, Busai not letting him off the hook. And runs into the rear wheel. Almost goes down, does the Italian, and that gives Monticelli a nice little bit of breathing space. Right at the back there, you see Vorlicek and Sitniatsky down the inside of Schupp. So Sitniatsky doing his best to pick up points. He's now in third place. Final lap though for Diego Monticelli. He was a winner in race 1. He's looking to make it a 1-1 here at Castelletto. Didn't really have the challenge from Vorlicek. And out of the final turn, Diego Monticelli takes victory in race 2. But coming home, Petr Vorlicek. 6th place is good enough for him to be crowned 2016 S2 European Champion. Overall results then, the podium will look like this. Diego Monticelli, Raul Schupp and Milan Sitniatsky. And for the first time this year, Petr Vorlicek off the podium. Top 3 this weekend, Milan Sitniatsky, 3rd overall. Raul Schupp as a wild card, first time on the podium for him. And Diego Monticelli takes the winner's trophy. But it's the final round, and of course, Petr Vorlicek is the S2 European Champion 2016. And the gold plate presented to Petr Vorlicek. Official confirmation that he is now champion in S2.
Wasn't so easy because Milan was very fast. We practicing a lot together, so we have sometimes very same speed. And it's for me really great to make a competition with him, so I'm super happy. Milan Sitniatsky second. And a special thanks to my family and my fiancée because they support me all the time and always they follow me. So thank you very much, and many greetings also to guys to Brazil who always support me as well. So thank you everybody, and thanks to Angel Grau.
So let's look at the final S2 European Championship standings then. And the 202, Petr Vorlicek, officially crowned champion. Sitniatsky second, making a Czech 1-2. Busai third, Monticelli fourth, and Roman Kivers fifth. Well, Petr Vorlicek started the season with a win at Jerez in Spain and continued his winning ways at round 2 in Valenciana. He was on the podium at the next 3 rounds in Italy and Poland and then in Austria. He also took the 3 race victories during the season, and in the end his consistency paid off, which is why Petr Vorlicek is the 2016 S2 European Champion. Coming into this final GP of the season at Castelletto di Branduzzo, Thomas Chareyre is hoping to become the first rider in Supermoto history to win 5 world titles. Chareyre has a 20-point advantage over his closest rival Marc-Reiner Schmidt, but with 50 points still up for grabs, both riders know that it's not over until it's over. And for the 6th time this year, Thomas Chareyre will line up on pole, throwing down the gauntlet immediately to Marc-Reiner Schmidt, who lines up 3rd. Lukas Hollbacher, who's fighting for 3rd in the championship, lines up between the 2 title contenders, as his closest rival, Pavel, heads up row 2. S1GP Race 1, lights go out, and right from the centre of the grid, Lukas Hollbacher with the whole shot. Chareyre 2nd, Reiner Schmidt 3rd. On board here with Kejmar in 5th, just behind Gimenez, but Marc-Reiner Schmidt looking to move past, and he does, just ahead there of Gimenez, moves past Chareyre to get himself into 2nd position. Through the twisty bits, over on the far side of the circuit, and Hollbacher, Reiner Schmidt, Chareyre, Gimenez, Kejmar on board here as Chareyre, just 2 riders up, looking to find his way past Marc-Reiner Schmidt early on. Down the back straight, Kejmar in 5th, but trying to make a break for it at the head of the field. The 72 of Lukas Hollbacher leading the way. Marc-Reiner Schmidt in 2nd, Thomas Chareyre in 3rd place on the number 4 blue TM. On to the start-finish straight. Hollbacher, Reiner Schmidt, Chareyre. And Chareyre just trying to utilise that line of view of Monticelli from the Europeans as Kejmar dives down the inside of Gimenez, gets himself up into 4th place. Look at the gap that Hollbacher has now. He's going for 3rd in the championship, remember. His closest rival here, 71 in orange. He's in 4th, being harassed by Gimenez. Top 3. Concertina together now. Hollbacher leading the way in white on the Husqvarna. Marc-Reiner Schmidt behind him. And Thomas Chareyre, those two still fighting for the championship, don't forget. Chareyre, though, has a 20-point advantage, has points in his pocket. Doesn't need to pass Reiner Schmidt. Battle for 8th there. Gianola, Hernandez and Marius Lita. Locked together. Gianola, number 5, doing a great job keeping those 2 behind him, though. Difficult to overtake on the infield part of the racetrack, but back with the leaders, Hollbacher, Reiner Schmidt and Chareyre, keeping the crowd on their toes. Marc-Reiner Schmidt will not need any second invitations. If there is a gap left open, he'll be through it. And Hollbacher running wide, and Schmidt down the inside. Great riding there, hasn't got the job done, but now he does, because the onboard camera's there, perfectly illustrating Marc-Reiner Schmidt still had a lot of work to do. He put the squeeze on the number 72 and now leads the race. Well, that puts 5 points between Marc-Reiner Schmidt and Chareyre. So Chareyre, will he just sit there, or will he look to take 2nd and maybe even go for the win? Still got 5 laps to go here. There's Kejmar. Lonely ride for him in 4th. And losing points to Lukas Hollbacher. So he will extend that gap for 3rd in the championship as he sits there in 2nd position. There's Reiner Schmidt, Hollbacher now starting to come under attack from Thomas Chareyre. And Chareyre looking to find a way through at the same place that Marc-Reiner Schmidt did. Oh, and it was almost a let through there from Hollbacher. So Chareyre now up into 2nd and goes after the race leader, 41, Marc-Reiner Schmidt. And Hollbacher looks like he's slowing, takes a look over towards the pit lane area as we look at the replay again. That was Chareyre down the inside of Hollbacher to get into 2nd place. A little bit further back, Gimenez and Riccardo Lodigiani fighting over 5th place. And into the pits is Lukas Hollbacher, so out of 3rd, and surely out of 3rd in the championship as well. So a disastrous time for his championship. We've got the oil flags out as well, and we've got Gimenez and Riccardo Lodigiani taking themselves out as well. And as we enter the final lap, Marc-Reiner Schmidt now coming under attack from Thomas Chareyre. And not done yet. And Marc-Reiner Schmidt into turn 3. Oh, loses the front. The back end comes around and spins him down. So a crazy couple of laps here in the first S1GP race. And Thomas Chareyre all of a sudden finds himself leading and looking at picking up 25 points and extending his championship lead even further over Marc-Reiner Schmidt. Just a handful of corners to go. Out of the final turn, Thomas Chareyre celebrates with another win, but the championship not over yet. Confirmation then of S1GP Race 1. Thomas Chareyre picking up the win on the final lap after a mistake from Marc-Reiner Schmidt. Was that pressure from the young German? Kejmar third, Grazioli fourth, Gianola was fifth. Race 2 and no Hollbacher on the grid. Bike problems continuing from race 1, and it's Thomas Chareyre who grabs the whole shot, runs wide though, and that allows Marc-Reiner Schmidt up the inside as we go on board here with Kejmar. Nervous look over the shoulder as well there from Marc-Reiner Schmidt as he heads into turn 3. So from third place in the championship, Pavel Kejmar then really just needs to make sure he picks up points here in the final race of the season as Marc-Reiner Schmidt leads from Thomas Chareyre on this opening lap. Third there is Kejmar. Fourth, Gimenez. Fifth, Luca Dettato, the Italian. Haven't seen him around in the World Championship for a few years. Down the back straight though, Reiner Schmidt, Chareyre, Kejmar, they are your top three. As they flip-flop left then right through that chicane. End of the first lap, and Marc-Reiner Schmidt continues to lead from Thomas Chareyre, and already the top two in the World Championship starting to pull clear of Pavel Kejmar. On board here with Hollbacher. Hollbacher back in again, so he did go back out, but problems for the Husqvarna rider. Schmidt though continues to lead Thomas Chareyre. The Frenchman knows he can finish behind the German and still take the title, but it doesn't stop him from that dogged determination, looking to find a way through. We saw him apply the pressure in race 1, and that cost him a mistake, but there's Lukas Hollbacher. Well, he can only look as the leaders get ready to swing round the back of pit lane and down the start straight as they battle over the lead. Absolutely nothing in it between the two factory TMs, the Degasoline TM of Marc-Reiner Schmidt and the factory TM of Thomas Chareyre. Battle for the lead continues here. Look at Thomas Chareyre just looking to find his way through. Oh, battle for fourth place, look at that. Lodigiani just diving down the inside of Gimenez, and Dettato right there as well in the background. So this is 4th, 5th and 6th now. Gimenez was doing a great job of holding off Lodigiani. But the 822 wildcarding this weekend. Well, if it hadn't have been for that fall in race 1, you never know, he could have been challenging for a podium. Dettato there, 99, all over the back of Gimenez in yellow. Looking to pick up 5th place. No way through there though. But that battle continues down the back straight through the chicane. Here's Kejmar, third in the race, and now seriously looking at third overall in the championship, the number 71. Meanwhile, back at the front, Marc-Reiner Schmidt, Thomas Chareyre, 41 and 4, both on TMs, both on equal machinery, both evenly matched here in race 2 as they prepare to head down the back straight. Halfway point in race 2, the final race of the year. as we said, Chareyre knows he can just sit there. Dedato now in 5th, starting to close in on Lodigiani. Right onto the rear wheel now of his fellow Italian. Seriously looking to find a way through with just a handful of laps to go. A mistake might decide it between these two, but good drive there from Dedato and easily down the inside. So Dedato now then finds himself up into 4th place. Entering the final lap, Marc-Reiner Schmidt and Thomas Chareyre. Separated by less than a bike length pretty much the whole of this final race of the season, final race of the weekend. And it's Marc-Reiner Schmidt safely through turns 3, through the flip-flops as well. Is Chareyre looking to surprise him with a last-ditch effort attack on this final lap? He's certainly within striking range. Locking up the back brake there, Marc-Reiner Schmidt, as he dives into that very tight left, through the little bomb hole, out of the infield section, back onto the main racetrack, down the back straight they go. Chareyre running out of time. Just a few corners to go for the Frenchman. Out of the final turn though, Marc-Reiner Schmidt will take victory in race 2. He will take the overall win for the Grand Prix, but Thomas Chareyre, second in the race, second overall, will be crowned world champion for the 5th time. Well, what a race that was. And Marc-Reiner Schmidt picking up the 25 points. Doesn't change the championship. Chareyre second, Kejmar third, Dedato and Lodigiani your top 5. Nice little stoppy there from Marc-Reiner Schmidt. And the overall points all square. Marc-Reiner Schmidt picking up 47. Thomas Chareyre 47. Kejmar on the podium at the final round of the year. But Thomas Chareyre will mount the podium as a 5-time world champion here at Castelletto di Branduzzo. And for the 2nd time this season, Marc-Reiner Schmidt will stand on the top step of the podium. Well, Pavel Kejmar, good day for him to come home 3rd overall. And of course, that gives him 3rd in the championship as well. Thomas Chareyre, a 1st and a 2nd overall, but he won't care too much about that. He's been on the podium every round this season, and Marc-Reiner Schmidt takes the winner's trophy for the 2nd time this year. Just one thing left to do, that's to hand the gold plate to Thomas Chareyre. He is world champion once again. And he will party tonight, I'm sure.
Yes, it was a good season for me. Only Tom was a little faster this year, but I walk every weekend and better. Yesterday we have some problems, but for today it will be better. And so in the first moto in front, I was first, and in the last round I crashed because oil on the track, and not so happy about the 2nd place, but the 2nd race I can win, and I'm really happy with this 2nd GP win overall. In the 1st season it's not bad, I think, and I'm happy for today.
Incredible season. I won 4 GPs on 6. It's just amazing. The good race today. Good fight with Marc on the 2nd moto. It was just perfect. And I want to thank all the sponsor, the team, my family, my girlfriend, everybody, and see you next year.
Well, let's take a look at the final World Championship standings then in S1GP. Thomas Chareyre, of course, the world champion. Marc-Reiner Schmidt 2nd, Pavel Kejmar 3rd. Hollbacher dropped to 4th after 2 non-point scoring rides today. David Gimenez rounds out the season in 5th. No doubt about who the winners are in the S1GP World Manufacturer standings. TM picking up the race wins in every single moto this year. 300 points maximum score for them. KTM 2nd, Husqvarna, Suzuki, Yamaha and Aprilia rounding out the manufacturers' standings there in 6th. Well, he said it himself, Thomas Chareyre has had an incredible season this year. 6 times on pole position, 9 race wins out of 12, and 3 of those double moto victories. And he's finished on the podium at every round. His 5th world title places him in the history books as the most successful supermoto racer ever, surpassing fellow Frenchman Thierry van den Bosch, who won 4 titles in his career. And he wants to come back and do it all again next year, where he hopes to make it 6. Congratulations to Thomas Chareyre and all at TM Racing Factory, who also collected the manufacturer's title as well. Well, that's it for S1GP, but the next race on the calendar will be the Supermoto of Nations, and that will come from Spain, at Barcelona. We'll see you then.